Aaron.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Uh-oh, Aaron done messed up. I threw this on the schedule quickly, but unfortunately I scheduled it for 10:45 p.m. tomorrow. So sorry, notification crew, if you didn't get a notification, that's why. But anyway, I'll tell you who done messed up. Scientology done messed up. And Clearwater police officer Garrett Banks done messed up. And now I'm here to bring you the details. Oh, I forgot to put my stuff on Do Not Disturb. Here we go. Do not disturb. Guys, Scientology is getting much more desperate. Scientology is getting much more desperate in downtown Clearwater, Florida. We've now had 2 incidents with the Clearwater police after going, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years almost, with 0 incidents. Last night, I was threatened with arrest. I was trespassed from the Fort Harrison Hotel. Funny thing is, I never entered the Fort Harrison Hotel. First incident was a few weeks ago with Erica. You guys know her in the live chat as Definite Trouble Source. Her name is Erica. She was arrested while protesting by herself at the corner of Cleveland Street and Fort Harrison Avenue. She was arrested because the Clearwater police officer did not like where she was standing and demanded she identify herself. She wasn't required to identify herself. She had not committed a crime. She was not suspected of committing a crime. She refused to identify herself, and he arrested her. She spent the entire night and most of the next day in jail, protesting in the exact same spot she's been protesting at least 3 days a week, every single week for, I don't know, the last year and a half. Arrested, thrown in jail for the night and most of the next day, because the police officer didn't like where she was standing and she wouldn't identify herself. It feels like that's been at least 3 weeks since that occurred. She still has not been given any update on the status of her charges. Oh, she was charged with obstructing justice. Okay, last night, I did something I've done 100 times before. Walked up to the front door of the Fort Harrison Hotel, put my phone up to the door. Except last night, I found that the Fort Harrison Hotel has installed new glass. It's completely frosted. You can't see through it. I was on their, quote unquote, on their property for a total of 15 seconds. I'm going to show you the footage. Explaining it doesn't do it justice, because the Fort Harrison Hotel is a hotel. Now, we all know that only Scientologists are allowed to rent rooms there, but there's not like there's signs that say this is not a real hotel. There's no sign that says private property. There's no sign that says do not enter. There's no sign that says no trespassing. No signage of any kind whatsoever. And plus, I've done this 100 times before, even in the presence of the police. No one's ever said anything. Well, anyway, let me just show this to you. First, I'm going to show you the incident. I'm going to show you a lot of stuff here. This is going to be a short video, but I've got a few different clips that I'm going to show you. Let me make sure I got the volume up on this. Here is the incident of this so-called trespassing. Let me know what you guys think. Is this trespassing? Here we go. Let's go say hi. No, they have graduation every Friday night. Nobody. Oh, they have new windows. Our phones used to be able to see right through the windows. They have new windows. Incredible. Boom. That's it, guys. That was it. That was the trespassing. Okay. Now I'm actually going to back it up a little bit just to pinpoint something here. Say hi. Okay. Now we're approaching the front door. Notice the complete absence of any signs of any kind whatsoever. No, they have graduation every Friday night. Nothing that says no trespassing, private property, do not enter. And of course, here I'm mentioning the signs because we talk about and the statutes talk about like whether a reasonable person could expect that you were not supposed to be in there. Now, I, as a reasonable person, have always understood and expected that I would never, ever, ever attempt to cross the threshold of that building. I would never enter that building. No, I've never been asked not to be in the building. I've never been asked not to enter the building. But I know, as someone who is a declared suppressive person by Scientology, they do not want me in that building. And I would never press my luck. I'm not looking to get into a physical altercation here or anything. And I'm not looking to give them an excuse to put their hands on me. And I would never enter the building. I have, however, walked up to that door probably 100 times before. Okay. And I'm going to show you where they claim the public property starts. They claim the public property starts. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor on, like right in the beginning of those pillars. I have been told that the property line actually starts in the middle of the pillar, like halfway through the pillar as you approach the door. And you'll also notice no security guards, no security personnel of any kind whatsoever posted outside the door. Why would that be? Why do they have 4 or 5 security guards inside the door and not a single security guard outside the door? Because I'll tell you what, if there was a security guard posted right in that entryway, I would never in a million years attempt to walk past that security guard and walk up to that door. But notice, guys, remember, it's a hotel. We are on a public sidewalk. That door is 3 feet from the sidewalk. What reasonable person would think that you are not even allowed to approach a closed front door to a hotel? Wow. Boom. From the time that I make that right, I don't even touch the door.
Oh, they have new
I don't even touch the door, okay?
windows. Our phones used to be able to see right through the windows. They have new windows.
Boom. From the 15 seconds go by from walking past the pillar to exiting the pillar. No signs saying private property, do not trespass, do not approach the door. No one telling people not to approach the door. No one asked me to leave. I left on my own. Okay. No one would expect that is illegal to walk into the 3 feet of space between the sidewalk and the front door. You cannot trespass someone who was never asked to leave. Okay. 8 minutes later, Officer Garrett Banks, badge number 9421, who had been posted up inside the hotel all night. He's working off-duty security for Scientology. This is another point that I want to make. One of the things that muddies up this entire thing for the Clearwater police is that the guy is literally being paid by Scientology to do what he did. So it'd be one thing if he was actually on duty and Scientology called the police and the police showed up and an active on-duty police officer reviewed whatever information and evidence he was presented with and came to a decision that a trespass warning was warranted. That's not what happened. The dude is literally on Scientology's payroll working for them. And to me, that explains why he basically made a huge mistake here. Because I'm going to this is an improperly issued trespass warning, and I'm going to administratively fight it. So now watch the interaction, because I asked him, are you on duty or off duty? Are you working in the hotel tonight? Are you on duty or off duty? And he really didn't want to answer that question. Okay, let me pull it up. This is when Officer Garrett Banks approaches me. And here we go.
Balls. Why does he have ball on it? What does that mean?
You can't come back onto the property.
What property?
If you come back onto the property,
what property?
They choose to press charges.
What property?
You can go to jail.
What property?
The church right here.
Okay. Do you have any?
So 215 South Fort Harrison. Okay. Do you have any questions?
I didn't go in the building.
You came up to the front door there. Okay?
You can't go into the front door of a hotel?
No, you can't.
It's a hotel. I went up to the front door. The door was closed. It wasn't even open.
All right, so you're going to be trespassed, okay?
Oh, thank you.
Go back onto the property, you're subject to arrest.
That's
okay?
wonderful. Are you working in the hotel tonight?
Yes.
You are? Are you off duty or are you on duty? Are you off duty or on duty? Are you off duty or on duty?
Yeah, I'm working. Watch out.
So what's your name and what's your badge number?
You're going to get hit.
What's your name and what's your badge number?
It's Officer Bank.
What's your badge number?
9421.
Good.
Right? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, do you get to choose whether to accept working for Scientology on a Friday night?
I'm fill out the form, all right?
Do you get to choose whether to work for the cult on a Friday night, or is it mandatory?
Remember, you come back onto the property.
Do you get to choose, or is it mandatory? Do you get to choose, or is it mandatory?
I see someone in the live chat saying he never actually said whether he was on duty or off duty. And the first time I watched this back through, I sort of agreed with you, but I do say, are you working in the hotel tonight? And he says yes. So to me, that's the same thing as admitting that he is off duty. Plus, if he was on duty, he would have just answered that he would have given me that answer the first time I asked him the question. Okay. So he says to Joey Meatballs is Scientology's private security. He's the guy with I don't know if you saw him in the video, but he wears like a full mask and he wears sunglasses. He's really obsessed with I don't know why he hides his face and his eyes from us. I mean, we've seen him. I'm pretty sure we've seen his full face before. But we call him Joey Meatballs. We have no idea what his real name is. Okay, so the police officer, Officer Garrett Banks, says to Joey Meatballs, I'm going to go, write up the form or whatever. Now, I am still unclear as to whether I've actually, meaning presently, as I say here right now, am unclear as to whether I was actually officially trespassed. We stayed outside the hotel. We moved our protest from across the street where it usually is. We moved our protest right directly outside the front doors of the Fort Harrison Hotel to show them that when you fuck around, you then shortly thereafter find out. And one of the reasons I stayed there is I was waiting for him to come and give me the trespass paperwork. Let me show you the part of the video where he finally finishes up whatever he's doing, whatever paperwork he's doing in his car. It actually takes him almost 15 minutes to finish his paperwork. He then walks towards us. He's clearly got papers in his hand. I think he's going to give me whatever citation. I thought they have to give you something, right? But maybe they don't. I don't know exactly. I am assuming that a police officer verbally trespassing me is good enough. I'm assuming I've been trespassed, but I didn't know that at the time. I was waiting for paperwork. I just want to show you where he walks towards us, and instead of giving me the paperwork, he walks back into the hotel. We wait outside for the next half hour, continuing our protest. The guy never comes back out. And the whole half hour that we're sitting there or, standing outside doing our protest, people are coming in the front door. They're coming in, they're coming out. Every time they open those doors, the police officer was standing right there. He would never just come out and give me the paperwork. Okay, so let me just show you just for the heck of it. Here we go.
Here we go. Here comes the cop to trespass me. Let's see.
Was that the same cop? He walked in and went all the way around.
Yeah, he has legs. He walks.
Yeah, but that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Why don't he just look out the front door?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good. He's going inside.
Okay, well, when he opens those doors, I give them a pretty good blast of something. So I see the question here. Ben Bacon Bits says, did he ever say, you have been trespassed? In my opinion, he did. I'm going to show you where I think he said that. Let's go here.
Balls. Why does he have on it? What does that mean?
So he's right there. He says, listen, they're going to have you trespassed. And then at the end of this interaction, when I'm giving him shit, he's like, okay, so you're being trespassed. So here.
Going to the front door of a hotel?
No, you can't.
It's a hotel. I went up to the front door. The door was closed. It wasn't even open.
All right, so you're going to be trespassed. Okay.
He says, you're going to be trespassed. Why is it future tense? I thought, and that might be what created the expectation in me that he's like, it's like saying you're going to be arrested. And then you stand around and you wait to get arrested. I thought he said, you're going to be trespassed and I'm waiting for my ticket. See, I thought that being trespassed was like getting a ticket. I'm waiting for my citation. I'm waiting for my little written order that gives the address on it. And let me see. Does he say anything else here?
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Go back onto the property, you're subject to arrest.
He says, if you go back on the property, you're subject to arrest.
That's wonderful. Are you working in the hotel tonight?
Yes.
Are you working in the hotel tonight? He says yes. So now, guys, I love using AI for a lot of stuff these days. I like asking it tons of questions. I like using Grok. Grok is the most powerful AI at this point. I went into Grok last night. I said, okay, scenario, downtown Clearwater, Florida, Fort Harrison Hotel, Scientology protester, no signs, no security guard, no one asked me to leave, 15 seconds, walk up to the door, walk off the door, door's 3 feet off the public easement. How can this be a trespass? And Grok gave me all the Florida statutes that applied, show me what applied, what argument could be made for it to be trespass, what argument could be made for it not to be trespass, and said most likely this is an inappropriately issued trespass notice, and gave me the exact instructions on how to appeal it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, the reason I'm appealing is not because I plan on going up to that door again. I have no interest. I'm not looking to pick that fight. What I am not okay with is being under threat of arrest the next time Scientology claims my foot goes over an imaginary line. No. Because then what happens next? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? It's literally a hotel. What are you supposed to do to a hotel? You're supposed to be able to go into a hotel. If there was a sign outside that said Scientologists only, that would be one thing. But guess what? It's not true that only Scientologists are allowed in that building. Now, only Scientologists are allowed to rent rooms and stay in the hotel rooms, but non-Scientologists go into that hotel all the time. Also, I have never been informed in writing by the Church of Scientology that I've been declared a suppressive person. I never received an email, a text, a phone call, a voicemail, a letter, nothing. I have never been given a copy of my SP declare. For all I know, that I've been told by other people that they've been shown my SP declare, but Scientology has never informed me that I'm a declared suppressive person. Now, one of the fundamental senior policies in Scientology is if it is not written, it is not true. The second one is if it is written, read it. How do I know if I actually have it to declare? So my point being is it's not even cut and dry if they're like Scientologists only. How does anyone know who Scientology considers to be a Scientologist? But actually the point is moot. Scientology puts on events these days to try to create good public relations in the community. They put on events and dinners for different social groups, some veterans groups and whatnot. So they can't put up a sign that says Scientologists only. But what they could do is have a security guard instead of standing inside the door, which is a weird place to put a security guard. You put the security guard outside the door so that people know if you walk by the security guard then has an opportunity to say, excuse me, you're trespassing. You need to leave. And also it's only trespassing if you're asked to leave and you don't leave. Okay. So for me to walk 3 feet up to a door, not talk to anyone, not touch anyone, not touch anything, 15 minutes later, turn around and walk away is simply not trespassing. And so I'm just going to follow the procedures to challenge this. Even if I challenge it and it gets thrown out and the office, it gets, whatever, null and void and stricken from the record or whatever the hell they call it, it doesn't mean I'm going to walk up to the door again. I will not be walking up to the door, but I will also not let an illegal trespass warning stand. I'm not going to have that on the record. Okay, let's see. I did star something here. Brave, welcome as a new channel member. Jamie Castro is the Jamie that's out there with us asking all the helpful questions. They never trespassed you because they never wrote it. And again, I get conflicting information on whether a trespass warning has to be written. Oh, and then Ben said, have you ever been trespassed? Okay, good. There you go, guys. That was the excitement. But I'll tell you what, Scientology sure regretted trying to mess with us in that way. And now, until I'll tell you this, unfortunately, I'm out of town for the next 2 Fridays, so won't be able to protest out there. But until this trespass warning is officially thrown out, the weekly Friday night protest is officially moving to directly outside the door of the Fort Harrison Hotel. And that includes Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is officially going to be moved directly outside the front doors of the Fort Harrison Hotel. That's what you get, Scientology. You fuck around, then you find out. All right, everyone, that is it for me. First time I've done 3 videos in a day for a very long time, so that's why I squeezed this one in. It's been really hard to focus on getting videos done and forcing myself to do it. But I did it today, folks. I did it today. Thank you for hanging out with me as always. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.